constantly flashing through walls. There's also those additional dark covers that are going to be down. He's going to be pushing through. He's going to be playing very aggressive on entry. But starting on defense, I'm going to be looking especially at Redux because there are great opportunities to pick up that operator on the Omen. If they can win an early pistol here, maybe they can get the economy rolling, have a situation like that.
The Renaissance of the active Omen is one that Redux has really been trying to profit off of and doing a better and better job as Qbert has been playing Icebox more and more. They've met this first attack very quickly, and Nismo, the first to extend. Rest of Qbert does their job and trades their way through. Satellite also going to get their first lurk kill going.
And now Ali biding his time. Nismo very weak. Asks Caillou a real opportunity here. They're both weak players trying to trade for each other, but Caillou not even an opportunity to get the shot off. Wingman going to get that plant down and allow Ali to safely reposition back yellow. Satellite, new addition to this team, having to step up in an early clutch situation.
He said give him grace after those stats we saw from last week, for a good reason too, but Ollie is no slouch. Has baited out Satellite's first swing, and the turret, as it gets off, it's reloaded. Ollie once again holds it down. 3K for the Gecko, and Satellite cannot follow up for Qbert. Winthrop win the pistol.
I love how he plays that at the end there, just taking a wide swing, getting into an off angle, but it does it silently when he hears that reload cue. That was a really cool play in the 1 versus 1. Look at how Qbert are stacked up here. They're so fast to get into the site, fight together. That's great. But then getting a little bit over eager with that double swing. Satellite not in position to help. They could have waited for the spike to have to be actually planted as well. Big credit to Ali, though. Puts his team in a great position. Okay, at least Infiltrator gets one.
Certainly worthwhile. These kinds of economies. The conversation around Satellite, I think, coming out of this week was that, you know, he was underutilized, which is kind of a ridiculous thing to say considering he was put on the Sentinel role. It's just unfortunate that people didn't meet him as often as he was hoping to be met, you know, where he was inserted, because Qbert likes to insert their Sentinels quite deep, and Satellite has no trouble setting up his firing ranges wherever. Winthrop, though, with this gun diff, they'll be able to recover after that first stack and wait until Qbert comes to them, winning that follow-up pretty easily.
Yeah, I really am excited to see what Satellite can do on this team. That run he had with Ambrosia in the Stage 2 playoffs was really impressive. That was a team we did not expect to be in the finals of Stage 2 when things began by any means. And he was a huge reason that that was actually the case. So getting this opportunity with one of the teams that are being supported by a great organization should be cool to see what he can do with this opportunity. It's going to be the first full buy now for Qbert to try and stop the early bleeding.
Infiltrator gonna hop up on this too pretty quickly, but Cliff extending into A main after Redux again gets a little antsy.
But Knights
still gonna find that recovery frag, but the push is still good through B lane. They'll get that orb for free in yellow too.
The Infiltrator really extended deep, looking like, you know, they wanted to have a B main split, was a bit ahead of the pack, so Knights gets that trade on the opposite side of the map. Their wall goes down, so they're not going to want to show themselves right now, wait for the Viper to be able to put it back up, but Knights with some well-timed spam.
As that wall fades away again, Knights is gonna get even greedier. Can't find the wingman from all the way back in Snowman, but the rest of Qbert comes back to play for this retake. Winthrop's resources are running a little dry still. To be able to drain a couple guns this late into the round, huge for the bonus. And Knights has already been compromised. They'll have to still extend off of him. Governor laying very wide off the yellow to start this out, and so they'll start toying with flushing him out of the back of yellow. The rest of lane has to try to follow in. Qbert holding down on top of the wingman. Never mind, it's just Caillou who can do all the dirty work himself. Qbert keep all 4 of those rifles heading out of the bonus.
Yeah, all too easy for them at the man advantage, but then also having the wingman to force the fewer Winthrop players to swing out. I like the Governor was able to take a reposition to back yellow, but even still, you know, 2 players in main, it's just tough to set anything up, and weaker weapons. They just really had everything working against them. This was really heads up from Knights. put them in position to win out this round. And IGL, Caillou, nice little 3K, getting really close to that Thrash early on.
We'll see if Winthrop once again tries to spread these resources thin. They're willing to kind of send their tip of the spear anywhere, regardless of where the rest of the spear is going. Infiltrators just kind of do his own thing. Governor and Glyph, no doubt, have that same level of trust that Nazi and Flare did. Coming out of watching Winthrop in their previous performance, their executes still look clean as ever. I mean, the two new players have really fit in like a glove. I think that is what gives a lot of people confidence in how these guys will do. But you really cannot sleep on Caillou or Satellite and their new roles here on Qbert. They'll, I mean, they haven't really had to do much adjustment either.
No, definitely not. Qbert was such a regimented team. I think that's what was giving them the most of their success. You could just tell how hard they were practicing, drilling those big retakes, big site executes. And I imagine that they'll be able to just fit those two new players in a very effective way. It's Winthrop right now, though, in the mid-round, playing things slow, trying to give moves an opportunity, see if maybe someone takes a peek towards Tube. They fully cut noise towards A, and now they're going to go for the execute late into the round. Still silent.
Let it go on top of the knife. Smoke tossed out on top of Governor as well. Winthrop still choose to extend. Governor actually a little stranded, and with 13 seconds to go, they've kind of just got to play with him, providing that cover fire. Moves, can't get a kill as the rest of Qbert makes their way through, and that powers down Winthrop tremendously. Despite the fact that they get that spike down, they can't get anybody in position for this post plant. Only one kill going their way as Qbert can set up an economy for a good chunk of this half of this round.
Yeah, that was a great retake, but the knife that Nismo hit, connecting onto all 4 players when there were about 25 seconds left, and they just still needed to get through the Viper wall, so they just have no flashes, no recon for backside, nothing. That is an absolute nightmare. And then also just heads up from those rotators coming from B, ready for moves to be in that lurk spot, playing towards window. He gets swung on by a couple players, had to try and go for an aim adjustment, couldn't make it. So Qbert just really making sure that every little aspect of the game there is covered. Winthrop, though, they still can't afford another buy. They've got all of the Vandals into this round, so economy is not totally cracked yet.
And they can still go fishing kind of wherever Infiltrator goes as well with the Hunter's Fury and the Thrash. You can commit anywhere on a dime. Want to be able to force that tempo shift against Qbert's favor. A moment's notice. Huge execute onto moves through mid. Big blind from the Dizzy. Qbert can then completely reset. Winthrop recognizes the time is nigh. They set up their screen. Classic execution onto the B site here, but have to endure a good chunk of this U-tilt. Qbert did not have to dip back too far.
Look at this. They have multiple players just facing out in the open. All right, the wingman going to get denied by that Molly as well. Qbert, all 5 players are positioned here. Are they going to try to flood back in? They're biding their time. Infiltrator wants to get forward. Here comes the Thrash.
Might be a little too late here. Rest of Winthrop has already dipped in. Governor grabbing 2 from Snowman. And his Satellite tries to help out Caillou, peeking out of this Thrash. There's simply too many variables in your way. Governor, immovable object this round. Giving Winthrop a whole lot of life for the remainder. Caillou is gonna try to play with the heartstrings of Winthrop here. Decent job after a 2K on top of the wingman. Turned on to Governor, sprays it through. And that's another 3K for Caillou. This time, that saves Qbert's chances of grabbing the round.
That was mental, but so well played. Using the wingman to just force those players to peek out into the open. The player from Yellow went earlier than the player from B main for Winthrop, so 1v1s were isolated. Snappy shots were connected. I mean, it began with that really cool play from Qbert into mid. There was a really deep pop flash thrown by Nismo, and it was synced up with the Dizzy. They swing out to catch a mid lurk. That was really cool. Winthrop did a great job recovering it with some proactivity, fighting forward while the spike was being planted. Caillou is looking so sick. What a clutch.
Yeah, looking really comfortable at the moment on this new role. That carries so much weight. Knight's already catching Infiltrator once again on the extension. He's not finding nearly as much as he'd like to. Not a whole lot of first kills so far. Ali gonna find Knights as he runs away though, so Winthrop can bargain for a little more space on the B site yet again with 4 more time on the clock than normal, but less guns.
Yeah, Knights gets a little greedy with that positioning, trying to hunt for some more damage, but already found the advantage. We've just gotten a lot of space into this A site. Could be in the round-winning position if he catches the timing.
He certainly will. Can always count on Moobs for that. Hubert, now have to have that universal awareness of where Moobs could be and speed things up on the retake too. That Thrash is just gonna go for the interception on what they think is a little bit closer, but just cycle that back for Hubert's attempt number 2.
The wingman's down.
Paranoia is going to be thrown out. Moves still on this flank timing.
Ducks fishing after the Hunter's Fury thrown out. Now the Thrash to reset, and the timing is just not going to go their way. Winthrop, they have too many resources, and they'll be able to tie things up again. A lot of players still oh no, only 2.
But still all good. They'll be more than happy to take that round. They started to down a player as well. No, Knights is going to be frustrated just thinking, why did I stick around trying to go for more? You know, he gets caught by that drone on the retreat. This is where Ollie gets the free kill. Then they get the free plant. Moobs gets a great timing. It was a well-played round, but you know, really Hubert should have had an easy 5-on-4 to maintain.
Hubert are going to leave mid completely alone this time around. Let that turret do its job. This Winthrop stacked pretty heavy on A site for this execute. Redux is going to be holding on to that operator. Like you said, he's gone for it quite early this game. It's a good reason. He's been pretty consistent on it, but he's going to have to use his ultimate in order to get back to this site to use it efficiently, as the wingman is going to get the spike down and Winthrop can just dip on back.
Here comes that Paranoia Dizzy over the top as well. Infiltrator really far forward.
Caught instantly. So Winthrop just have to deal with what's left. Lockdown is going to force him even farther back, and Retux is just going to start stepping out and peeking with this operator. First kill goes his way. Viper's Pit on the spike to respond, but Cliff falls quickly, and Hubert have more than enough to completely drain the swamp. They'll easily defuse the spike, and no reason for Moose to even re-engage.
If they were happy to play for a retake, given they had the null command and then right into that lockdown as it was going to expire, they completely gave up that A site. They were more than content to do so. Kind of righting the wrongs of that last round. They're able to get Winthrop, you know, it forced into a tougher economic position out. They're definitely going to be considering how they want to operate in this round as far as the buy goes, because they can force another rifle with moves, but not everybody is going to have a full buy, so they'll be weighing up what's best for them.
It really does seem like everybody's pretty happy with how much space they're handing each other. Everyone is dealing each other a decent amount of respect. The guns are eventually going to go both teams' ways. By the looks of it, everybody's eventually going to be able to get a decent buy, but it's just about kind of shedding the shrapnel along the way and keeping the salt cycle going. These have been super influential throughout these rounds, and Winthrop, unfortunately, yeah, with that Viper's Pit gone, you don't really have much to springboard back into. So Hubert has the momentum, has the ability to kind of play for whatever advantage they want to on the defense. So again, it's on Winthrop to shift the tempo.
They're going to get one rifle drop by Moobs, but still having enough cash for the next. So all things considered, this buy isn't too bad. Redux still has that operator, didn't get a chance to use it on the prior round, is posted up over towards B main currently. Knight's jiggling off of the contact that he's taking.
Gotta be aware of this operator still, yeah. Try and inch up that way. Hubert can double down on mid as well, make sure that Winthrop don't have anybody lurking.
Poison's off.
Moves, pushing with the rest of this stack. Infiltrator, that's a humongous step out.
What was that?
To find Redux, that's unreal. Knights not holding it at the proper moment, unfortunately. I mean, how long could that moment have been, though?
Now Infiltrator just wants to creep up. Back yellow going to be cleared by that recon. What's the move here from Cubert? Do they try to fight through this wall? Winthrop are silently pushing forward.
Cell only one here. Satellite's not been given away, but Knights is already picked off, and the rest of Cubert has to fight this a little early. Governor walking up close, and the rest of Winthrop can just swarm this battle. Nismo playing from the distance is able to get some sort of resurgence going. Only 2 players left, but one of them is now holding that operator, and the other is Infiltrator. So pretty dangerous post plant to be walking into. Nismo trying to find a vulnerable point as that spike is held down, but now that it's been confirmed, Ollie can just hold the extension from Snowman, and Winthrop, huge recovery round, able to steal an operator, along with a whole lot more of that space to tie us up again.
Yeah, that's another round where Winthrop are able to win on B on account of being so willing to fight forward. And they do it in this silent way as well. They're not flashing through the Viper wall. They're just walking up with multiple players. But prior to that, I mean, what was that shot from Infiltrator? That sounded like it was even like a one-tap. I don't even think that was a burst. He just peeked out and killed Redux, who was holding that angle with the AWP. That was pretty crazy. And Infiltrator is going to be happy to use it himself now. So Viper's pit from Cubert controlling over towards B main. Governor has the drone, so could use that to clear it out.
Aggressive hold by Redux. Nismo is holding this, but Ali can just peek into it and kills Caillou, once again trying to potentially refrag, but it's all to protect Redux, who has also given his position away now. Ali is single-handedly put a chokehold on the A site this round, and Winthrop can continue to toy with that as they'll leave this Viper's pit thanks to their ex-coach's escapades.
Yeah, Ollie's going for more as well, trying to fight Redux. Cannot blame him for having the maxed out confidence. This operator is going to have to get some serious work done. Winthrop wait things out, push on now that the recon has been cycled back up, and Infiltrator is able to deal with that up.
They'll continue gliding on forward. Satellite able to at least hold that first kill off. But it's still a 4v2 with Knights having to re-up on a rifle. Satellite gonna grab this operator. This might just be a save round after all that Winthrop have been able to sink their teeth into this round.
No, they're just going to want to keep that operator, and it's yet to get any value. Just unfortunate for Cubert. It's a big investment, of course. And this round just simply comes down to the heroics of Ali, and it's not the first round that has simply come down to the heroics of Ali. He got the 1 versus 3 clutch earlier as well. Really stepping up for the team right now to try and cobble together a solid icebox attack half. Just able to isolate and win a 1v1 against Nismo, isolate a second 1v1. No one able to trade onto him.
Yeah, everybody watching first hit through main, and then Nismo backing up before Redux decides to step back. Just that nice little window for them again, thanks to Ollie finding it and completely executing on it. Right time to call a timeout, certainly from Cubert, because I agree with Ash when she said that, yeah, this attack half from Winthrop needs to be explosive because Cubert's, from, you know, what we've already seen is far more so. Their duelistless execution game has been really clean, especially on that B site for these past couple weeks. And against Core, they held their own. It was their pick for that match, and it's their pick for this match for a reason.
Yeah, definitely. You're going to need as many rounds as you can get before Cubert get onto this attack side. And that's just kind of the case with Icebox in general. And then I want to just say especially so with how good, again, just these Nismo Icebox teams are on Icebox attack. Like the way he's able to dictate the pace of the game is really dangerous. Winthrop have a great opportunity to extend the lead to 6. Just given the state of the buy for Cubert being really weak, unless, again, just have to draw attention to this op. Hasn't gotten value yet, but this would be a pivotal round for Redux to step up with it.
stepping up onto these boxes, and it's going to find purchase instantly. Moves. Again, it's another dry double peek from Winthrop, and this time it's punished. Glyph now alone in B main, while Winthrop haven't really made any ground up A either. Caillou gonna be that first sight line to it, but not holding the most perfect gun for it, and it's a 50-50 off of that flash thrown by the man behind the slaughter, Nismo. He's gonna have to do a whole lot more of the legwork.
Yeah, Infiltrator's able to push up. Again, Winthrop just like to kind of take their time. Good shot from Redux, though.
Head on back to that B site you opened up. Now that you've had to commit this heavily to the operator hold. Satellite gonna be able to at least find this rifle now, though, so it'll be a clean 2v3. Not found, though, yet. Redux steps into it. Not dead, but at least found out, so Kubert can step a little farther forward.
I like this teleport up top as well, but Governor's ready for it. Redux too quick.
My ultimate is ready.
Already checking upstairs as well. Saw Glyph's body, but we spotted him too. Satellite having a feeling about Ollie potentially holding this. No, he certainly does not. And he might not until this other member comes through. Oh, man. That's a right shame.
I love how he plays that. He has Glyph as well, just backing up, allowing them to walk forward. He's looking so good right now on this Gecko. Has another Thrash available. Moves has a lockdown for this buy round, which would put Kubert on a fairly weak buy for the final round. They'd have the bonus if they lose, but even still, Redux is finally able to get some work done with the operator, but it's just on a round where the rest of the team don't have the weaponry to really contend. Infiltrator finds some great picks towards a second Blade Storm of the half.
And he's just going to go haywire with it into a stack as well. Having a good feeling about how far he can go with it, but Nismo puts a stop to it. Winthrop can't twist the knife instantly, and in fact, moves. Can't even hold a candle. Nismo gets away with one more before going down. Satellite can't track the exec, and that's the rest of Winthrop funneled in. Ali grabs the frag on sight, and that'll be a bona fide 3v1 that you once again have a mid-hold on. This time, it's Glyph, and he's good. 7-4 now for Winthrop, and they've really found the rhythm on this attack.
For sure. Infiltrator is starting to heat up. You know, earlier on was going down off those very aggressive early plays, but now is starting to find those entry kills. I love how he was able to navigate the situation with the util that was going off. Things getting a little disconnected with the aggression from Kubert, and it's just fully exploited by some better trading from Winthrop University scaling into that site. They're playing very well right now, and this has got Kubert on a somewhat weak buy for the final round, just given they have a lot of Guardians.
Here.
Still have that null command, though, so you're able to stick a fork in the road for Winthrop. That being said, moves having this lockdown allows them that guaranteed first phase as long as they get the opening space. Kubert, again, sending that stack, this time through mid. Try to get the manual clearing done this time to make it a lot easier to retake the site. But into the toxic orb, it's just so hard to be able to contest a fight. No shots, deals so much more damage. Glyph given credit for 2, and Nismo gonna try and peek his head out again. But it'll be 6 more weeks of winter as Winthrop will attack A.
They were just hoping to maybe isolate moves if he was playing towards mid alone off that cloud dropping with a multiplayer face, but there were a few Winthrop players ready to deal with that. And on top of it, that poison cloud had everybody on Kubert pretty weak, so they were just going down to body shot spray. Satellites worked his way into backside. Have to be a hero, but is not going to be given the opportunity as it's just routed by this lockdown, and Winthrop will patiently work their way in to get this spike down.
He's crossed, eyes dotted yet again. Clock's a little low, and Kubert are going to try and play into it as heavily as they can. That being said, Spike is still going to get down, and Satellite's still going to get caught as Nismo is already fallen too. Found out, but still kicking at least for 2. But Winthrop can get away with an 8-4 half exiting their attack as they were able to steadily clean things up and get the cycle going from there. Hubert Academy, once again, though, this attack from them is looking pretty scary. I have a feeling Redux is not done dancing with the operator just yet.
No. Would expect it'll find an opportunity maybe to pick that up. Well, given the economy is in a place to
Of course.
allow him to buy it, but very impressed by Winthrop on that 5-round run that they went on at the end. They were dictating the pace of the game well, slowing things down, finding the right moments to hit the site. And in that half, they had better fundamentals than Qbert. They were trading way more effectively for each other. Really impressive stuff. And Ollie has been a menace so far.
Setting a decent precedent here on the mainstream
Blow 'em up, man.
in these 1-0 games. Winthrop and Qbert met here at the same time in the Swiss stage last split as well, and it was the only time so far that Qbert has beaten Winthrop. The other 2 times were in playoff brackets, and Winthrop were able to win both of those out. So again, a matchup that has gone both ways, but again, with these 2 new players, really tough to ascertain who's going to come out on top. And if it goes to 3, it'll come down to the even bigger variable of who knows Corrode.
Redux is trying to take a timing to fight forward while the wall is still up. Time is getting fairly low for Winthrop, though. They're going to have to hit the gas here off that Dizzy.
We'll let it all go off of that, and Qbert are just able to hold the line pretty consistently there. Keeping 3 stable, in fact, but Winthrop still having their eyes up. It's just a matter of being able to burst through that wall efficiently, and they just didn't feel like they could explode effectively at any given point. Off of that, their health was just drained, tired out. Yet again, the clock, one of their biggest enemies. So already lessening the gap here on the attack. It looks so... Like, it looks so steady. It looks so unbreakable, even with those pistols. You see exactly what Qbert are going for. And it's not really like you can stop it just by knowing what it is.
Placing alarm bot.
Yeah, they do such a great job of fighting together over on that B site. And in a situation where Winthrop let a lot of time expire because they wanted to cycle their utility back up to get through the wall. But off that timing, Qbert, they're happy to duel. They have multiple players back. Yellow, Redux takes that contact out, swings first. Those are the situations that they really thrive in. They get a very free plant on this B site now, and they're in a great position to be able to win a very clean anti-eco here. Have a strong buy into the bonus round. I mean, Winthrop, they're not even really looking to go for damage at this point. They're just going to be dying to the spike. So Qbert will have an opportunity to get a couple rifles into this bonus and have a great shot at getting in a position where they can tie this game up.
Target down.
No
That's
confidence.
unfortunate.
Being
I
able
mean,
to
they
take
do
the
lose
site.
one, right?
Yeah, that's rough.
Or wait, was that... or no, that was actually just a pistol, so...
Yeah.
All good, I believe. Nismo threw the rifle to someone else. Yeah, I think he threw it over to Knights and then pushed forward to fight.
Yeah, Qbert should be okay coming into this bonus. Winthrop
Turn out.
understanding, again, just the strength of that B setup, not really wanting to hand over the free orbs. So we'll see them try to hold the line a little closer, at least on B. That's going to be where Qbert tries to stick a spear in it first.
Molly going to be thrown deep, so Winthrop can try to control some space towards B main. Take an early engagement, but they're going to be forced back by the attacker util.
I don't like going for this mid lurk again. Infiltrator hasn't been conditioned to it, but is holding it this time. Quite a while, despite the fact that Qbert started making that noise. As the orb goes up, Satellite goes through, and Glyph runs right into him. Nobody's able to catch it, and Qbert go for the crunch. Winthrop
Planted.
can only hold the back line. Infiltrator has to try to infiltrate through the middle, and he will. Taking the site pretty quickly, but again, have to breach this toxic screen and hold that spike as well. You can just extend out of yellow. Qbert continue to do that. Nismo going absolutely insane, flashing himself back out to go to attempt number 2 with the help of teammates. Caillou now having this util available into 2 members of Winthrop that simply don't have the health to keep up. Hubert don't have a massive pool themselves at the end of this round, but they're able to win the bonus out and get some massive momentum on this half.
Again, it's just these post-plant situations on B that Hubert are going to absolutely thrive in. Once that spike goes down, we saw it on the pistol, we see it here now with the rifle buy, the way that they're able to play around yellow and then get their swings from B main at the same time. And we see that there from Knights. With Satellite on a great flank timing as well through mid to get the initial kill. They're so good over on that site. Winthrop are going to have to switch things up, either try and play more aggressively, maybe flood before the spike gets down, get the cash to get an op on that side of the map. But playing for a full retake against Hubert is a really tough ask.
Yeah, Winthrop has to find a moment to be able to interrupt Hubert in the neutral. And normally Infiltrator is the guy that's doing that, and he almost was, you know, going for the lurk check for Satellite, but getting through that toxic orb, Hubert was able to kind of negate that. So like you said, is it about getting more aggressive for Winthrop where, you know, they're the ones that are fully pushing the gas instead of just waiting to catch Hubert, even, again, when they're playing that default? Or do you just stack a little heavier and fight it out? With the worst guns this time, Winthrop are going to do the latter. And then we'll meet some rifles, whole lot of util, whole lot of orbs handed over to Hubert this round, as well as another free B site. Infiltrator searching with the blades. He's always good for one here, you know?
Yeah, usually is, but pretty low on HP. I love the way that Hubert used their utility to go take all that space on yellow, get the kills there as well. They just have synced up. A dark cover goes top yellow, teleport into it from Redux. He swings out off of the molly from their Gecko, landing back yellow, and there's a Dizzy going over the top that gets into the sky as that Mosh is landing from the lineup. There's a pop flash from Nismo. Like, it's just so overwhelming, and Redux gets free kills swinging out over top from it. It's really lovely stuff. This is Hubert just at their best. This is what Nismo does on this map. It's the style of play that he's used to here, that M80 ran for a very long time. It's just so impressive. And it's feeling like Winthrop getting 8 rounds on their own attack half, playing very well, might not be enough because Hubert are just so good here.
It's so true. Their understanding of how to take over on this map on the attack side is so lethal, and like you said, overwhelming yellow, treating it like its own separate room to be cleared rather than just the opening to the site. With all of that overwhelming util, most of it you can cycle with the help of the Gecko. And again, Nismo being the central piece of that puzzle in the beginning, middle, and end to start, continue, and finish. Hubert having a powerful util and man advantage when it comes to holding down that site. For the first time this half, Hubert are going to set their eyes on A first, and immediately Infiltrator's going to get a kill. Bad omen, but at least they'll get that null command back up, and pretty good omen as Redux is able to grab a 2-piece as Hubert is going to be able to just walk right onto this A site. Glyph still holding behind though, and oopsie, we haven't checked. Free kill for the man as he's going to be able to reposition, not immediately caught in Satellite searching. Glyph, another head, and making this interesting as Moobs has now made his way back for the pinch. You can never be looking in front of this guy. He's always behind you, and Glyph able to clean things up. What a resurgence from Winthrop University. It all comes off of, once again, a guy just not being fully checked.
Yeah, I think Hubert just got so many kills over there. They got 3 of them. Surely there isn't a 4th player that's just been sitting in nests silently this entire time. Glyph catches the perfect timing there. This looked like it was going to be a free round from Hubert. They do a great job fighting together on Belt. Infiltrator definitely frustrated that he goes 1 for 1, and it's on the KO that just popped null command, so he gets instantly rezzed, basically just doesn't get a kill at all. There was no one to break the Dizzy for him, so he was traded out easily.
Right there.
What a play from Glyph. Steps up on a crucial round out of the timeout.
Another early stack from Winthrop to try to meet this first B push head on. Obviously more confident in the A hold now. Try to shepherd Hubert on over there, at least for the start of the round. Maybe drain some minutes off this clock. As the knife will already get drained for that now very dangerous nest.
And Jerome doesn't actually spot anything out. Here comes the Thrash, and it's going to get all the information on this site, which is that Winthrop have just given up the space, given they were playing proactively towards B. They want to get a full retake going off this Hunter's Fury. Not going to deny the plant, though.
Seems like Governor is still trying to hold the Thrash a little heavier as Winthrop can take over Heaven and do the rest of the dirty work. Ali sending out his own wingman, and that's able to do half of the defusal for Winthrop before even peeking out. Satellite holding onto this operator. Pretty scary to do so. Mosh Pit not going to be able to make the distance, and Knights with the close range can extend the first time. Satellite the first pick off, and now another nade on top of the spike extension into the up shot for the Ditto kill from Satellite. New entry. The Sentinel allowed to frag here on Icebox against Winthrop, tying us up again.
That's beautifully played, and Winthrop going to definitely be frustrated because they had a great setup to that round. I like that out of this timeout, they've been playing with a stacked few players to take space and fight aggressively on the extremities. That time doing it at B, just not allowing Hubert to set up for a full execute on that side of the map. And if they go A, which they did, we have a Hunter's Fury for the retake. They were in prime position to win that out. Satellite, the new addition, gets Hubert over the finish line, puts Winthrop on a bad bye. Really excellent play from him with that op.
Hubert's able to really get the ball rolling after a seesaw like that. And so we just return to form, embrace tradition. Get this little guy over to B site ASAP. Free plan is Winthrop will once again have the stacks outside of the site, heavily on mid, and a Viper's Pit set up early on top. Glyph gonna hop in early himself.
Yeah, this just feels as good as done unless Glyph can step up yet again. Nismo wants to fight forward. Okay, good random spam while running.
We've got so much room to just kind of wander around this. You control yellow and can extend basically to Snowman from here, but Ali's wingman is just holding down on the spike. Infiltrator able to play full-on bodyguard, and that's an indiscernible round from Winthrop University. Gives them all the guns back, gives them all the momentum back. They keep all of their ultimates too. I am aghast.
Yeah, that's crazy. They just should not be allowed to win that. I mean, Hubert get into the full post-play situation with all of their players alive with the pit down. And I liked what they were doing towards yellow. They had a couple players. It was Nismo and Redux. It looked like they were just going to try and kind of circumvent the pit, get kills on anyone from Winthrop that would try to be working around it but not going inside. And Glyph just fully catches them. And now pit of his own, thrown down B main for full control. And you can see on the minimap too, has that alarm bot, which is going to alert him to anyone creeping their way forward. Just some additional safety for him. Up on the cross, great defensive setup, but Infiltrator can't capitalize. He's going for more. Huh? Okay, dude, get out. Bro, you're so weak, please.
I mean,
don't take these risks.
There's gonna be a good chance there's somebody right behind him that far back, and you've already been found out. Cut down to 7 HP. Infiltrator, vulnerable spot, but he'll be the first line of defense again with this operator. Flash drive to bait out the intel that this operator is now moved on over to the A site. So how about we consider this pit once again?
Now, what do they realistically have to clear it out? You know, the wingman is going to have to run through it with 30 seconds left. This is dangerous. However, for Winthrop, it is just Glyph here. Redux is going to teleport back yellow. Try and split into the pit. This is cool.
Yeah, searching for a way to kind of sandwich Glyph, force him to reveal himself, but in the one way it takes a little long. Still, though, Q*bert's able to blister through and not lose anybody on the way down. Now a lockdown to guarantee the site. Winthrop having to keep their distance, and Q*bert just gonna give themselves a shooting range beyond that smoke setup behind Snowman. They know Winthrop is just waiting and watching, and they take advantage, setting us up for a 5v3 retake.
The Governor not going to have an opportunity to get a kill with this operator either. He gets a leg shot on a Redux, but ultimately it's going to be very irrelevant. And you just see the power in that situation too of having the Omen on top of the Viper, where you can just throw down those dark covers when the wall runs out of energy and you're just good to go. You're going to keep those angles covered up by smokes. Q*bert do a really great job of being able to work around that pit. Very cool to have the Omen from the shadows pop to get back yellow so they can split on the Glyph. I love that idea from them, and it works perfectly. And Winthrop just completely left Glyph on his own to lock down that B site, just expecting that Q*bert would respect the pit, but they don't. This is a great back and forth in this game right now.
That really is a great macro read to know that Winthrop is going to end up just sticking Glyph by himself after making all that noise over on the A site, having all that trust in him, being able to go for that Omen ultimate. Really smart play coming out of Q*bert, and they have some more tricks up their sleeve. Redux going for the aggressive TP into a smoke to take that high ground back on main and get another opening frag for Q*bert. That's all that they need to do here. Winthrop are going to be forced to kite over to A super heavily with 75 seconds on the clock. Q*bert can now toy with this B site that they've been able to just steal away again and again, and Winthrop can't really do anything about it.
Yep, they fully peel off, and now they're going to work back into B main. Alarm bot is eventually going to be triggered here, so that'll give the information to Winthrop. Moves shouldn't really have an opportunity to do much. Wants to, or was at least considering using the lockdown. Yeah, he's going to let that rip now that the rest of his team are a bit closer. There's not going to be an opportunity to deny the spike going down, however, and there's still a lot of space for Q*bert. Look at them all back yellow right now, 4 players.
They're able to just keep on duking this out as Winthrop comes onto site, so they have to dig deep. Glyph already in the outskirts of yellow, good for 2, and still stuck between 2 more. Nismo on yellow, low health, and so Satellite has to start toying with him early to force him to panic. Turret out. Nismo, once again, is trying to run this clock down until Glyph has to dig deep again. And Q*bert can drag him down into the pits of hell, give themselves a lead here on Icebox, 11-10.
That lockdown just didn't get enough value for Winthrop. It did kind of funnel everyone from Q*bert back yellow. They had 4 players there. And I mean, to be fair, to Winthrop's credit from there, look at this moment where they're able to get that molly down, players vulnerable up and flashed up by the Dizzy as well. But Q*bert are eventually still able to trade things out. They already had the man advantage because of the early play on A where they catch Infiltrator in that smoke. Full investment here from Winthrop. Q*bert are getting really close to taking their map pick.
Glyph already stepping out, but it was a trap play to set up Infiltrator's peak. A free kill this time for the defense. And Q*bert gonna try and aggro to give themselves a leg back into it. Dizzy giving away Satellite's lurk on mid, but he also has help. All trying to bait Greed from the other side. Q*bert still inching up this B lane as Infiltrator is only inched back to the yellow.
They're ready for a bit more action. Doesn't have the dash though, so things could get a little bit dangerous. Caillou does have a Dizzy to throw over top. Swing out from Redux.
Dizzy's gonna suss him out. Infiltrator trying to stall, but Satellite catch him outside of the cloud burst. And so Q*bert have the sight. Caillou stepping out of the toxic screen to just grab one on the way down, but it's still a 2v2. Moobs boosting off of Ollie with the help of that Dizzy. They can at least take the outskirts, but Wingman is only some fodder. It has to be the Thrash to clear out the space. Set up moves, but Knights catches him on the way out, and Thrash still can't find a connection. Ali alone in the 1v2, a high-low setup instantly by Qbert to give themselves a 2-round lead. 2 rounds of game point to work with on their map pick.
They're just too good on this B site. They have won, what, 6 or 7 rounds there on this attack half. They are just too good at taking all of that space. Infiltrator still wants to play up towards yellow, but with no dash. Overwhelmed by the utility that's always going to be thrown down by Qbert. And then, again, it's that aggression after the fact, too. I mean, look at Nismo's stat line right now. He's 16 kills and 17 assists. He's got so many good flashes off, and now it's just a null command to, again, take this B site to try to close things out against Winthrop. They don't have any initiator ultimates to get back in here. No lockdown. This is going to be really challenging.
Yeah, really, no unique tools. You just got to shoot your way through it. That's what I think a lot of people were expecting Winthrop to be able to do this early into this stage of challengers with the new additions. First 2 knives don't connect. Redux still dancing, and on top of another flash set up by Nismo. It'll be a free kill. Redux continue to just extend, and Satellite now with the cross. Ali far into the site, but very obviously no time despite how much he's able to do. An 8-4 attack half is pretty good for Winthrop University. Try a 9-2 attack half coming out from Sentinel's Qbert Academy. A tremendous execution that just goes to show that this team has not missed a wink of sleep and looks great with these 2 new additions.